In this video, I want to talk about the ancient mysteries. So these are the mysteries that an initiate would be initiated into to become a priest, eventually a high priest, and eventually a master. What are the ancient mysteries that an initiate would be initiated into in order to become a priest, a high priest, and then ascended master? Let's find out. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sylvia Sello and I help light workers, starseeds, priestesses and leaders to step into their highest potential, to remember who they are and channel their gifts into the life they desire. And today I want to talk about the initiations that a spiritual adept would be in ancient past initiated into. There are 3 different levels and I want to walk you through each one of them. When you go through the spiritual awakening, this is when basically your soul starts to work with you more consciously, more intimately. And this is where the higher being starts to take a notice of you. Before that, you are just kind of waiting to start this initiation and ascension process truly. And so when you would become the initiate in one of the past lives, your soul would continue through that level of that initiation for a couple of lifetimes. Sometimes it can be many lifetimes before it would go into that next level. And basically those 3 big initiations would take you from, starting the ascension journey into fully ascending and into fully mastering everything that you can in this realm. And so regardless of the time in history, those levels would somehow appear in all the temple schools. So as an initiate, you would first move into the first level where you would practice to become a priest or a priestess. Once complete, some people would move into the next level where you would become the high priest or high priestess. And if that is complete, you would then move into the next level where you would basically train to become an ascended master. But let's now take it one step at a time and start with the first level of mysteries. These are the lunar mysteries connected to the sphere of the moon. And when you become an initiate in ancient temple school, you always first are initiated into this level. Everyone is. And as I said, it can take many lifetimes to move through that level and master everything that it's teaching you. The lunar mysteries, if we look at it from the perspective of ancient Egypt, would be connected to Osiris and his mysteries, his journey of resurrection. So in this journey, you are truly learning to access your subconscious mind, because the moon is connected to the subconscious mind and it's connected to the 4th dimension. And it's also very much connected to the astral realm. And at this level, you are learning the language of symbols. You are learning to interpret the things in your subconscious mind. You are also learning to work with your emotions and your beliefs and any kind of conditioning that you receive. And you are truly learning to master your emotions and your mind. At this level, you are looking at everything that is secret, that is hidden, that lives in so-called shadow, because the moon illuminates everything that's hidden in the shadow, right? Like when the moon is shining in the middle of the night, it illuminates something. And so that's the idea. Those initiates who would be at this level would be much more influenced and impacted by the phases of the moon. So they would really feel that their emotions are getting enhanced or more intensified with the phases of the moon. And in this first level, you were aiming to eventually become a priest or a priestess. Now, depending on the time of the history, it could take really a long time before you had your final examination and you actually passed through this level to become a priest. But even if you became a priest, you would normally still operate on this lunar level of consciousness, and you would use it in your healing work. Now, in the temple, the figure associated with the lunar mysteries is the oracle. The oracle is someone who is using some form of divination tool in order to see things that are going to happen, or the things that are happening now or happened, right? We want to get a bigger picture. The oracle always needs divination tools. So in our modern times, this would be the tarot cards, for instance. But it could be also working with a specific element, like fire, or more likely water, air, earth, to be able to divine future. This element is associated to your soul's energy. So every soul has like a bigger quantity of a certain element. There are some souls that are in higher initiatory levels that have quite balanced elements within themselves. But this is something that would be unique to you. So your teachers would see what kind of element resonates with you, and that would be likely used as your oracle divination tool. The oracle counts on rituals, because the oracle cannot really see without those tools and cannot really go into those next levels without some form of ritual. So at some points in history, this could become highly ritualistic cultures that are revolving around the lunar mysteries. Now we have the moon circles and these all kinds of things associated to the moon. It's a form of rituals, right? On the most basic level. So it still persists, right? And the leadership that is not balanced and is connected to the lunar sphere can look like the leader or the person, the priest, the priestesses, has unbalanced emotional body and is governed by their limiting beliefs and thoughts. So there is a lot of fears, which they have to bring to that conscious mind. And they also, they don't have like, how to say it, original thinking. So they're imitating things. Usually they imitate things from the next initiatory level, which is connected to the sun. Because the moon always wants to imitate the sun, although it cannot be the sun. But there is lots of imitation, there is lots of copying. And if it comes from that like leadership that is out of integrity, people copy each other and they don't like refer to the original source, or they don't give credit. Another trait of this unbalanced leadership connected to the lunar mysteries is that it needs to feel in control. So it always like, it doesn't give freely, because the moon absorbs the light. So it absorbs the energy. It's like a black hole sometimes, it can be. It just needs more and more energy, but it's not yet able to give energy, to radiate. And so there is lots of control and things are being hidden. Also on that level, you can make favors to just like a selected few, the people you like. You don't know how to freely give from that overflow yet. On the other hand, that balanced leadership connected to the lunar mysteries can look like it's someone who has fully mastered their emotional body. They understand that, emotions are just energies passing through your aura. It's not a matter of fact. And so if you feel something, doesn't mean that it applies to everyone else either, right? So you really understand emotions, and you understand and live instinctively in alignment with the cycles of nature. And generally all cycles, this is very cyclical time. And these leaders usually are amazing energy healers, emotional healers, and also medicine women and men. Shamans, all these beings are really good with diving deep into the moon. Also, psychology is fully working with the sphere of the moon, inner child work. And anything really where you dig into your fears is working with the sphere of the moon as well. Now the next big initiatory level is connected to the sun, so the solar mysteries. In ancient Egypt there would be two figures associated with it, Hor, the son of Osiris, and Set, the uncle of Osiris. And if you know anything about those two, there's lots of myths about their battle with each other. Now, what does it mean spiritually? On the level of the sun, you are learning to master duality. So there's that duality, the light and dark, Hor and Set, within each of us and outside of us. And you are learning to find that balanced space, that centered state of consciousness, which is not being pulled in either direction. This is what it looks like once you master the solar mysteries. And here, as an initiate, you move into the high priest or high priestess levels. In this moment, you become a teacher. So back then in temple, you are no longer facilitating all these kind of little things, but you are more focusing your energy on teaching new priests, priestesses. You are teaching, you are giving wisdom. You are also working with groups of people. And you are really positively influencing more and more people. Your work becomes more visible. Now we are no longer the oracle at this level, but we become the seer. Seer is someone who can see without using any divination tool. So this person is no longer just working with the subconscious mind, which speaks in the language of symbols and you need to interpret them, but the seer is able to see things as they are, because you are fully using your conscious mind. Is that solar energy, the sun represents the conscious mind and the higher self. And so you are an amazing seer. You can see things just so, without going into some specific state of consciousness, without knowing the name of someone, without using any tools. Now, just like the sun, at this level, your aura changes the current of energy and it moves from absorption, like the moon, and it goes into radiation. It starts to shine. So people who are connected to you, they receive always something beneficial to them, and it goes from your overflow. Just like the sun is shining on everything, there is this beautiful overflow that people can tap into, and it doesn't cost you any energy. That being said, no one wants to come too near to the sun. So if there are people who don't respect boundaries, who don't respect your energy and time, it has typically some negative consequences for them, because they need to learn the law of energy, which is one of the most important laws in this universe. Now the challenge connected to this sphere would be to learn to find a correct relationship to power. This is the divine and soul power, and how to channel it correctly and use it for a higher benefit for all. On that practical level, if you look at someone's life who is at this level, you would find out that their life looks very boring. It's very plain. There is no drama. There are no big ups and downs anymore, because they have stabilized the energy of the moon. They have mastered the sphere. The sun is steady. It shines all the time. So that kind of energy flows through the lives of those initiates. Now the last level of mysteries is the star mysteries or stellar mysteries. In ancient Egypt, that would be connected to Jehuti or Thoth. And at this level, you are moving from being a high priest or a high priestess into becoming an ascended master. So you are in the training of being an ascended master, and at this point, how you know that this is taking place is that you have access to your past life memories. you simply remember that veil has lifted. This is one of the signs. Also, on this level, you are able to read anyone's soul's records. So you are able to see into past lives of people from this planet, but also from higher dimensions. We could call it from different star systems. You can see all of it, the whole soul's journey, all the way back to source. You also, as I said, remember your past lives here on Earth and elsewhere. And so you have access to all that wisdom, all those gifts, and you are able to channel them into a unique body of work. Unique is the key word here. So we move from that imitation of the moon, and then we eventually end up in the star mysteries, where you create body of work which is new in some way. It's somehow unique. Every ascended master has brought here some unique piece of something that stays here in the collective field, and everyone can tap into it later on, no matter how many thousands of years later it is. This unique body of work happens because you have accessed your memories from everywhere, and so you are like compiling all of it into some uniform body of work. Likely you work on it throughout your whole lifetime, so it's not like I just download it like this. There is it's really a robust body of work. It has levels. You likely have your mystery school. You already have the mystery school on the previous solar level, but here you are truly like bringing those unique teachings into it. This aspiring ascended master can heal on every level, and they are typically a teacher of teachers. So on the solar level, we would have a teacher of like priestesses, but this would be on the star level like a teacher of high priestesses. And so through those other people that you work with, all your work ripples into the collective consciousness and it stays there. Also in your work, you are working with source consciousness, and any kind of work that you truly do has positive impact on the collective field. So even if you work one-on-one with someone, you can use that work as an opening to heal things on the collective level. So there's really that collective focus. Just here I want to take a little side note. Just because it's called stellar mysteries, it's not like that someone who's channeling some star seeds or star nation beings is on this level. I would say they are typically in the moon sphere, and the reason for that is because they are typically tapped into the fourth dimension. It's not yet actually going beyond the fourth dimension, and it's not those like pure star teachings yet. So that's just like a side note, because this is also what used to happen in ancient past. This was actually a big issue on our planet, and we had to like wipe the slate clean to get rid of this, because you can truly tap into anything depending on your level of consciousness. But on this level of this like star mysteries, you are truly like already so consciously embodying your soul, your higher self, and your spirit, and your multidimensional self. That you are like receiving information from the source. Again, you can think that you receive them, and it may not be the case. So sometimes it's really difficult to see for ourselves what's the case. But I still wanted to offer you this kind of framework, something you can think about and look at. As I said, we are like moving through those levels over a series of lifetimes. It doesn't happen overnight, and each level has like beautiful aspects and something it can give you once it's mastered. Each of them has beautiful gifts, so it's not like one is better than the other. Alright, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel to let me know that you enjoy this kind of content, and please like and share. And I see you next time.